All right, so we've walked through the foundations, the building blocks, and even the leadership principles from Chaim Nudel's Leading the AI Native Enterprise. Now we're at the finish line, the part that really matters, the execution playbook. How do you take all that amazing strategy and actually make it work in the real world? Let's jump in. And this quote, man, it just hits the nail on the head. The conversation has totally changed, right? It's not if you're going to use AI anymore. That ship has sailed. The real question is how you're going to lead with it. Because let's be honest, just having a few AI projects floating around isn't going to cut it. The win comes from executing them brilliantly. Okay, section 1, from strategy to execution. This is where the rubber meets the road. You've got the grand vision, the tech is there, the bosses are excited. Now what? It's all about closing that gap and turning big ideas into actual value. So, just to quickly remind everyone where we are, we covered foundations in part 1, building blocks in part 2, and leadership in part 3, all super important groundwork. But now we're focusing only on part 4, the playbook. This is what brings everything together. All right, section 2, the AI transformation lifecycle. So, what's the first big step to getting execution right? You have to stop treating AI like a cool science fair project. These little one-off experiments in a lab somewhere. It's time to grow up and turn it into a real, disciplined process. And here it is, the roadmap. What I love about this is how logical it is. You start with strategic alignment, making sure what you're building actually matters to the business. Then you get your data ready, you build the model, deploy it, and, this is key, you keep an eye on it forever. This whole life cycle is designed to create lasting value, not just a flashy demo that fades away. Okay, section 3, navigating risks and breakdowns. Look, having a roadmap is one thing, but we all know the reality. Not every project is going to be a slam dunk. And the book is super honest about this, which is great. It actually points out these really clear patterns, the things that make a project succeed versus the things that cause it to crash and burn. And this basically lays it all out, side by side. It's like two different worlds, isn't it? On one side, success looks like clear business goals, great data, and teams that actually talk to each other. On the other side, total breakdown, no clear ROI, messy data, and everyone working in their own little bubble. The best part? None of this is random. These breakdowns are predictable, and if they're predictable, you can avoid them. So, moving on to section 4, strategic playbooks. Let's say you do everything right. You follow the roadmap, you avoid the pitfalls, and you get a huge win. Awesome. But now what? How do you make sure that wasn't just a one-hit wonder? This is where playbooks come in, and they are a game changer. So what is a strategic playbook? The best way to think about it is like a recipe for success. It's a standardized, repeatable guide that says, hey, this AI thing we did over here, it worked. Here's exactly how to do it again and again and again, anywhere in the company. It takes the guesswork out of it. And the payoff for doing this is just massive. We're talking about taking those little isolated wins and turning them into a genuine, enterprise-wide superpower. You get consistency, you get accountability, everyone knows who's doing what, and you can scale up fast without taking on a ton of new risk. It's how you really start to accelerate. So when you boil it all down, what's the big takeaway here? It's this. Execution is everything. A good execution framework is what turns a cool AI idea into a durable, competitive advantage. That's the leap. It's the difference between just playing with AI and actually leading with it. And we'll leave you with this final thought, which really puts a fine point on it. Your AI maturity, how good you are at actually doing this stuff, that's what's going to define your place in the market. It's either going to be your biggest advantage or your most painful limitation. The choice is really up to you.